world of YouTube. Terrible sight here. And as you can see, I have a image of Crips and the Bloods. And I don't know who the Chips are. I never heard of that gang, but anyways, I started watching a documentary on Amazon. Great documentary. And I mean, I'm learning a lot on what started the Crip and the Bloods. And I'm definitely not surprised. Bear with me. So I'm not surprised of what started these gangs, but I am shocked of one little thing is how they started their rivalry. Blech, don't say that word a lot. But it is, sad to know that these two gangs took a lot of lives with each other. And I'm going to tell you something. It's about a wonder why the movie The Warriors were made. I mean, I did think that maybe the Crips started in, I would say the late 70s and all the way through the 80s. But come to find out, they started way longer before that. I mean, they weren't called Crips or Bloods back in the day, but they were, they were, two different parts, two different worlds. But what really caught my attention is, of course, how back in the day where blacks weren't, allowed to sit in the front of the bus. They had to go to the back of the bus. A lot of things that came about back then. One of the guys of the former gangs, from the 50s, they're a little older now. I think they are. And I think this documentary came out in 2016. I'm sure they're still alive and everything, but these guys try to join Boy Scouts of America, Cub Scouts. Oh no, the parents won't accept that. He said that one of the guys said the guy was real nice, but he's talking about, all the parents won't accept this. I don't think that, colored boy and Boy Scouts. Oh man. Movies like Porky's, movies like Blazing Saddles, all about racism. And they literally got the N-word, as they say, in them movies. So, but putting colored people in these movies to a higher power, to where everybody accepts them, like in the movie Porky's. And of course they had the Ku Klux Klan, theme. I'm sure they weren't the real men, but they had a theme of the Ku Klux Klan. And part 2, Porky's the Next Day, was about Native Americans and how they were being treated. We all know they were treated long before the colored people coming to the United States, and how they were treated. They were treated, natives, the same way. Put to slavery. Disgraced. All this stupid racist bull crap. God dang nabbit. That is, putting everybody's face and crammed down their throat. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'd love to go to Los Angeles and meet some gangs. together. You know, Ice-T in his Home Invasion album. And of course that album was banned. And so was in his album Body Count. But that man right there made a statement and had the Crips and the Blood in his videos. But what leads me back to the Warriors and how they talked about back in 1979, and I'm for damn sure that's why they made that movie. I mean, I have it up, the guy, Cyrus, that stands up and gathers all the gangs throughout the whole city of New York and Long Island. And they're all sitting there. And, you know, he's telling them about how you're all fighting and killing each other for a piece of turf. And that's exactly what the Crips and Blood were doing. You stay off my gas station, you stay out of my store, you stay out of this, you stay out of my park. You come down here, you get shot. But what leads me to the saying of what Cyrus was saying and bringing everyone together. Because remember, 1965 and the Watts riots is what made the Crips and the Bloods. But why they went against each other is beyond me. Because back in the day, as they called them, clubs, they weren't gangs. That's what they were put, you know, what people put in your heads. You know, because back in them days, you got to remember, we had the Hells Angels. And that started from the World War. And I believe the Bloods was, the Bloods was something from the name that the, the coloreds used in the Vietnam War, calling themselves the Bloods or whatnot. But what it all nails down to and what it's related to and what everything that Cyrus says is that the man is separating us. The man is making us fight one another. The man. Because, right, when Watts and the riots began, just like NWA, fuck the police. Because all they want to do is take a brother out of a car and slap him and charge him with something of what? Something they never did. Especially the movie Colors. Oh, yeah. Another badass movie. But Watts is what created gangs or groups. They weren't called gangs, they were clubs because, hey, what the hell are they supposed to do? Everybody in the boys, Boy Scouts, becoming Eagle Scouts, in the boy club, the Boys of America, whatever. I tried joining that crap, and to me, it was a friggin' joke. Because these days, I even had tried to put my son in that a couple, maybe 3 years back. And it's pretty sad that when you go in the Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, you got to pay for everything. Everything. It's like all about money. But these guys, made their own clubs. Why shouldn't they? Why should they have to step out on the side and not do nothing? Hang out. It's all about family, right? That's what these clubs are about. Sticking together. And when the riots became, in 1965, understanding the Bloods and the Crips. But yet, the older generation, talking about, right, the younger generations, the one that came out with all this guns and shooting up and killing each other. But the older generations probably put maybe tried to put a can of whoop ass on the younger generation, tell them to smarten up, but how could they? Shut up, old fool. I'll shoot your ass. Everybody gonna shoot each other. Them clubs back in the day were all about fighting. And that's what I say, man. I'm from old school. If you get your ass whooped, you walk away, that's it. You whooping ass, that's it. Somebody got the ass whooped that day, you leave it alone. You never friggin' mess with that person again. But these days, it's all about, right, hey, fuck you, poof, you're dead. You know, that's what you call the lazy generation. That's right. You know, all the old school timers from the 60s, late 70s, all talking about how they, iron their clothes, stand them up in the corner. You gotta look good, sucker. Yeah, that's right. You gotta look good. But, it ain't what it used to be. But all in all, what it's all about and what started all this shit was the man. And that's what the Warriors movie was trying to tell you. But yet you got that one idiot, that one stupid son of a bitch, that dumb piece of crap that sits off in the corners, right? Don't like what this guy has to say, and, what'd you blow him away for? Because I wanted to. Because I like it. I mean, don't mark me wrong. I like that guy who played, the one that shot Cyrus. But he's a damn good actor. But, I don't want to take it the wrong way. You look at them people and them actors like, wow, what an asshole. And you think they're really like that, but they're not. They're just trying to make their points. And he made a good asshole. So, yeah. What these movies, and I learned a lot from movies and TV when I was a kid. They say about TV ruining your minds. Back in my time, watching the movies I did, they taught me wisdom, some street smarts, everything to survive in this world. Even horror movies. You take a friggin' good slasher horror movie like Halloween. Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. And you got these people out there shooting up, doing mass murders. Taking that friggin' time to do what the movie does. Or, if there's a way that people look at things stupidly. I looked at my horror movies and everything of the evil around me. And I would like to take that evil that I watched and bring it on upon the evil around me. And that includes child molesters, women beaters, stupid idiots like that. But I learned a lot from movies, TV, and hell, one time, can't even say I joined, but buddies of mine were in the crypt in high school. And there was a big kid, Mexican kid, Oliver. I was like, I think I was 11th grade, and he was like hang on, I want to pause. And I thought the bike was coming up here in the background. I'm going to blare out my speaker. There was a Mexican kid named Oliver, and I think he was a freshman at the time. I was in 11th grade. The boy was in the Crips. And, that kid stood at least 6 feet tall. And, come here. Bear with me. I gotta pause. Damn, someone else just walked by, walking their dog. I had to pause for a moment. Thought the pug was gonna blow up, but I caught him. Anyways, this kid stood about 6 feet tall. Two of my buddies, introduced me to him, and, oh, you want to join the crypt? And like, damn. I mean, I can't say that I'm a legitimate member, but as they say, they will jump you in. And between my two friends and that kid, man, I did do the initiation. And, they were talking about how you're going to get this. I mean, I got jumped in and everything, and then things started evolving about You know, because I did have a reputation of a scrapper. And, you know, this fucking kid was joking. I don't know if he was joking or serious. He said, you know, he comes up to me and says, how would you be able to take me down or something like that in them terms? And, you know, he's towering over me. And he was, you know, pretty, you know, had a reputation already. You know, he's getting in my face and sticking his chest in my face, and his chest is pretty much in my face. All right? So I'll take you down. He's like, oh, yeah, he pushed me. And I literally did a move my father taught me when I was younger. You stick your 2 fingers in a person's shoulder hole, collarbone, near the collarbone and shoulder hole, and people drop. And I think it's a technique they use in the military for combat, hand-to-hand combat. And when you know, I dropped that kid on one knee. And it was like one of them initiation things you had to do. And when I dropped him down, he was like, holy fuck. You know, that was some move he never knew. I taught him that. And he was like, wow, man, you're badass. And, you know, like I said, I'm not fully can say that I was initiated the right way, but, you know, they always got along with me. And if I needed anything, hey, they fucking helped me out. True story. But, you know, the man is the problem that gets in between of everything. And that's exactly what I've been talking about. And this is a perfect example right here. Divided. Country divided. The Crips and the Bloods. Well, they pretty much made this gang. These 2 gangs. They divided them, and then they made them. So, yeah, that ended up with a lot of lost lives. Like I say, I feel sorry for these 2 gangs or groups or whatever you want to call them. Because it wasn't for, like, say so, right? The BS back in the day, like the Watts riots, you know, this wouldn't have never happened. Stuff like this wouldn't have happened. But it still continues to this day. And a lot of kids that are doing these mass shootings are getting brainwashed and fed BS. That's right. To make everybody go insane. And this right here, this documentary on Amazon is a must watch. And it tells you, you know, from some of the original OGs that, you know, the only reason why stuff like this was, happened is because the man divided us. So you think about that. Guns don't kill people. The man divides us and makes us kill one another so they can shorten the population or, you know, make more room for the next. Whatever the case may be, it's sick. It's demented. It's been going on from the days of the first Native American War. King Philip divided. You think about that. Till the next video, be safe, take care. Big shout out to the Bloods and the Crips. You know, I knew some of you in this area back in the early 90s. So I get a shout out to all them and give you huge respects on what you guys went through back in the day. Hopefully you can turn around, just like Cyrus says in the Warrior movies, come together and combine them turfs and to keep some sanity and some peace between us. But maybe change that man's way. Yeah, that's right. We can't change each other. Hell, we can't even maybe not even like one another, but you know what? What it's all about is that turf and what we need to protect from the man. Not the streets. The man. Out.